Imagine shooting your shot on Twitter for Netflix role, and it actually happens. Well, Angel Reese did, and now she's set to star in The Hunting Wives Season 2. And it all started with a tweet. She said the show was a good watch. The series creator Rebecca Cutter.
Angel Reese just walked off the hardwood and straight into Netflix's most dangerous social circle, and this move is louder than any stat line.
What brings you to East Texas?
I guess I live here now.
Oh, well, welcome.
I woke up feeling like a creep.
This is a calculated shift that signals something much bigger happening behind the scenes in women's sports, celebrity culture, and power dynamics that the WNBA is still struggling to control. Reese stepping into the co-starring role of trainer Barbie is not random casting. It is a message, and the message is clear. Angel Reese is expanding her empire far beyond basketball, and she is doing it on her own terms. The timing alone makes this move explosive.
Angel Reese cast in Netflix's The Hunting Wives Season 2. Angel Reese is officially stepping into the acting world. On January 20th, 2026, Netflix confirmed that the WNBA's
Season 2 of The Hunting Wives is coming off a first season that didn't just perform well, it dominated. The show became the most viewed streaming series in the US 1 month after its release, built on scandal, manipulation, power games, armed and wealthy women who get away with murder while smiling for the cameras. Netflix doesn't hand out co-starring roles in a breakout hit to someone they aren't fully betting on. Reese wasn't brought in to decorate the cast, she was brought in to disrupt it, and trainer Barbie is not the cute nickname people might think at first glance.
To welcome the Victoria's Secret fashion show and look at her go. The WNBA star said she put in a lot of work to prep for the show. She even got a walking coach. Last year, Reese was in the audience watching the show and said,
within the universe of The Hunting Wives, every character has layers, secrets, and motives that rot beneath a polished surface. A trainer in that world is not just someone who counts reps and smiles for selfies. It is someone embedded in elite spaces, trusted with bodies, routines, vulnerabilities, and unguarded moments. Reese's character steps directly into the inner circle of women who are used to controlling every room they enter. That alone makes her dangerous. Angel Reese has built her real-life brand on refusing to shrink herself for anyone, and that energy fits this show far too perfectly to be coincidence. This casting also comes at a time when Reese's visibility is reaching levels the WNBA cannot replicate on its own. She is already one of the most recognizable faces in women's basketball, not just because of her play, but because of how she occupies space culturally. Reese understands attention, understands narrative, and understands how to turn controversy into currency. Netflix understands that too. This is where things get uncomfortable for traditional sports structures. For decades, leagues benefited from athletes staying in their lane. Play the game, do the interviews, let the league control the story. Angel Reese has never played that role. From college to the pros, she has treated herself like a brand first and a player second, and every move since has reinforced that strategy. Her transition into scripted television is not about exploring a hobby, it is about leverage. While the WNBA continues to negotiate revenue sharing, media rights, and player compensation, Reese is quietly building alternative income streams that do not depend on league approval. Acting roles, endorsements, fashion, digital platforms, and now a Netflix series with global reach. This is what modern athlete power looks like, and it is exactly what scares old systems. The irony is that Reese is doing what leagues claim they want players to do: grow the game, expand audiences, bring new eyes to women's basketball. But when players like Reese gain influence that exists independently of the league, control becomes an issue. This move also reignites an uncomfortable conversation around visibility and opportunity. Angel Reese's acting debut at this scale does not happen without her cultural footprint. Netflix is not casting based on box scores. They are casting based on engagement, recognizability, and the ability to pull viewers who might not care about the sport at all. Reese brings a fan base that overlaps sports, fashion, pop culture, and social media, which is exactly the demographic streaming platforms fight for. That crossover power is rare. It also shifts how athletes are evaluated. Reese is no longer just competing with other players for all-star spots. She is competing in a broader entertainment economy where influence matters more than minutes played. That changes how careers are built and how leverage is gained. And let's talk about the show itself. On because context matters. The Hunting Wives is not safe television. It is provocative, dark, and unapologetically messy. It centers on privileged women who drink, manipulate, seduce, and kill while maintaining perfect public images. This is not a wholesome family drama. By stepping into this world, Reese is making a statement about the kinds of roles she is willing to take. She is not interested in being sanitized. That choice matters because female athletes are often boxed into narrow lanes when they cross into entertainment. Inspirational, uplifting, safe. Reese skipped all of that and walked straight into a show built on moral ambiguity and power games. That is intentional. It signals confidence in her ability to handle backlash, criticism, and discourse without retreating. Reese has already proven she can survive being polarizing. As in many ways, she thrives in it. Another layer that cannot be ignored is how this move contrasts with how women athletes have historically been treated when seeking opportunities outside their sport. For years, players were subtly discouraged from doing anything that might distract from the league's image. Reese is doing the opposite. She is expanding her image so widely that the league becomes just one piece of her identity, not the centerpiece. This also reframes conversations around loyalty. There is an unspoken expectation that players should prioritize the league above all else, even when the league cannot prioritize them financially or structurally. Reese's move challenges that expectation without saying a word. She is showing, not telling. The addition of Reese to a cast that already includes Brittany Snow, Malin Akerman, John Stamos, and others also elevates the show's cultural relevance. Netflix is blending traditional Hollywood names with modern influence, and Reese sits perfectly at that intersection. She brings authenticity, edge, and real-world notoriety that scripted characters alone cannot replicate. From a business standpoint, this is brilliant, but from a league standpoint, it is complicated because the more Reese proves she does not need the WNBA to maintain relevance, the more leverage shifts toward players. And Reese is not alone in this approach. She is simply the most visible example right now. There is also speculation swirling quietly about how involved Reese will be beyond just acting. Insiders have hinted that her role expands deeper into the storyline than initially expected. As placing her character at the center of conflicts that reshape alliances within the show. Netflix has not confirmed details, but the language around her casting makes one thing clear. This is not a blink and you miss it appearance. Trainer Barbie is not background noise. And then there is the symbolism of the name itself. Barbie has always represented a hyper-polished ideal, often criticized for being unrealistic or performative. Reese stepping into a character with that nickname, inside a show that dismantles the illusion of perfection, feels almost meta. It mirrors her real-life public perception versus who she actually is. Confident, strategic, and unafraid to challenge expectations. This casting also fuels speculation about what Reese's post-basketball future might look like. While many athletes wait until retirement to explore entertainment seriously, Reese is laying groundwork now. She is building relationships with studios, producers, and creatives while her sports profile is still peaking. And let's be honest, this move also pressures the WNBA in a way public criticism never could. When your stars start finding fulfillment, money, and influence elsewhere, the league has to confront why that is happening. Reese is not leaving basketball. She is expanding beyond it, but expansion has consequences. Fans may tune into The Hunting Wives for Reese and discover a version of her that feels more complex, more dangerous, and more compelling than any sideline interview could capture. That changes how she is perceived culturally, and perception drives power. This also opens doors for other players watching closely. As if Reese succeeds in this role, it will normalize the idea that WNBA players can step into mainstream entertainment without waiting for permission. That ripple effect could reshape how female athletes navigate their careers entirely. Netflix knows this. Reese knows this. The league is still catching up. The most shocking part of this announcement is not that Reese got cast. It's that it feels inevitable. Like this was always where her trajectory was headed. Basketball gave her the platform. Culture gave her the momentum. And now she is using both to enter spaces that were never designed with athletes like her in mind. That is disruption. And disruption rarely happens quietly. As season 2 of The Hunting Wives heads into production, the spotlight will only intensify. Reese will be scrutinized not just as an athlete trying something new, but as a cultural figure testing the boundaries of what women in sports are allowed to be. And if her past is any indication, she is not interested in playing it safe. Is Angel Reese just acting, or is she quietly rewriting what power looks like for WNBA stars? And if this works, who do you think follows her next? So let us know your views in the comments below.